Good for him. My twins are freshmen already. Can you believe that? Elizabeth had her first period. She's only 13.
Congratulations.
Goes by in a blink.
So you wanted to see me?
Right. So, you came to us with those headaches, and we ran some tests.
Oh, is that me?
Oh, no, that's a healthy scan, so you have some context. This is you.
Oh, wow.
It's ghastly. This is a very advanced case of frontal, prefrontal, which, of course, makes surgery impossible.
Ah, fuck me. How long do I have?
Best case, 6 months, a year. So a year would be best case. There is a drug treatment available for this. It's very new and wildly expensive, but your insurance will probably cover it.
Oh, fuck me. Why didn't you tell me that first?
Hey, Adrenal Heads, I'm Frank.
And I'm Mark.
And we're going to be covering The Toxic Avenger 2024.
Or 2023. Originally it was set to... it's supposed to be originally 2023. If you look at it, it's been delayed so many times.
Oh, yeah.
And this movie was scrutinized to the point where nobody wanted to release it. And we finally got it in 2025. It only took about 2 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Only. Yeah. So the movie was actually directed and written by Macon Blair.
Right.
And if you all remember the original Toxic Avenger that came out, what was it? 1984?
84. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was done by Lloyd Kaufman at the time, and the time of Troma, when Troma was just starting, and it literally launched Troma, the whole industry of Troma.
That's it. If you watch Toxic Avenger, the first 1984 one, you have Troma in a nutshell. You just know exactly what you can expect. I've seen like practically every Troma movie that there is.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Did you watch Romeo and Juliet?
Of course.
Did you, what was the one with the chickens? That was the funniest one.
Poltergeist?
Poltergeist, yeah. Poltergeist,
yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
Or unless you mean Luther the Geek.
Oh, jeez. There was so many that came on. You got Mr. Kabuki. What was it?
Kabuki Man NYPD.
Yep. Yeah, there we go. There's so many that Lloyd Kaufman has done, and I've met that man several times at conventions, and he is so accommodating. He's
a great guy. Yeah.
He's a great guy to talk to if you ever get to meet him. Still around, still alive. Guess what? Right. He's also in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, as well as this movie. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's still around, kicking and screaming. And he also was on with Ming and Mike on Comic Book Men when they did the TV show Comic Book Men on AMC, if you all remember that.
Yeah.
But Lloyd is always out there. He's always looking for people. I actually was asked because I'm on a list of people. It's like, hey, would you want to be on? I was asked about this years ago. And at the time, I couldn't physically do it. Because it's so far away. It's in New Jersey. I'm in upstate New York. And it just didn't work with work and, trying to get off to do it. But it's so funny. And it's like, you guys are probably saying, yeah, it's an excuse. And I'm like, no, it's not an excuse. It's just one of those things. But I laughed when they said that they were doing this. And I brought it up to a bunch of friends during that time, during the pandemic. And they're like, no, they're not going to do that. And then, and then they wound up doing this, and it's not a huge budgeted film. The movie was what? It cost them how much to make the movie, Frank?
Shoot.
About like what? 2 million?
3.2 million? No. I think that's what it made.
I think
Hang on,
it made 3.3 million at the box office
overall, right?
Yeah. And it was only released in 2,000 screens at this point in 2024, late 2024, in limited release. And it has a notable for a unique marketing campaign where the studio will eliminate 1 million in medical debt for every 1 million the movie earns at the box office. Oh,
Yes. I don't think they've got the listing here exactly what it cost to make. Let me see.
But you would have to think, because we have iconic actors in this particular film. And did they
I
do
want to
this?
say I thought I saw something like 784,000 or something like that.
It wasn't much more than
Right.
anything like any Troma film. Usually Troma films back in the 80s, even with the original Toxic Avenger, which probably cost them like maybe between $30,000 and $80,000, probably about close to $100,000. Now, mind you,
Yeah.
that for an independent film, that was still expensive.
That's
but,
great.
But it's still, it doesn't have a high budget, and it's typical of how Troma always did their stuff. So,
Yeah.
But within this particular movie, you got actors like, you got Peter Dinklage, you got Kevin Bacon, you got Jane Levy.
Right.
You have Sarah Niles. If you all remember Sarah Niles, she was in Ted Lasso, if you all remember that. Annette Badland, who was in Ted Lasso as well. So you have all these people that are, you see their faces. Elijah Wood, of all people. You got Frodo himself in the movie. And it's just like, what the bloody hell's going on here? So people did this literally out of the love of the lore of Troma, and doing something really cheeseball, and doing something oddly enough that was a little bit of a different take from the original movie. The original movie, if you look at it, was very exploitation. It was all sexual, ultra violence, everything.
Exactly.
And this one, not so sexual at all, really. And
I mean, one of the first things they do in the first movie is like show you boobs like straight out.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you, kid.
Yeah, and then they kill that kid. Yeah, they run the kid over with a car. So,
and they get off on it too, which is like, wow.
Yeah.
The original was like, it was definitely exploitation for its time. This one was more mainstream, which was so funny too, because it took them how many years in order for them to get this out, because they had the stigma of what they had done before, and everybody's like, no. But yet Troma lived on. And if you'll remember back in the day with Blockbuster Video, and I forget the other name of the other company, that
might have been Hollywood Video.
Hollywood Video, there was another one, and you would see that on the racks of horror or whatever, and you would pick your movie, and a lot of kids would be like, I can see boobs or whatever, and they would just pick that movie up. Now, mind you, we live, like Frank and I come from the day of cable TV, where this was on late night cable. You would just like set your VCR and just record it overnight, because it's not going to play during the day. Sometimes it would, which is odd, but that was the original movie. In this case, with this particular film, this is a re-envisioning of that film.
Yeah.
And the story is almost very similar, but with a more modern.
I would go as far as to say it sticks to the story in spirit, in that, Winston, the name of the character in this one, and the other one, it's Melvin. They're both janitors, but Melvin is working in a gym, and he's got bullies that are just tormenting
he would
him.
Be considered mentally incompetent, I would say, in certain ways, just to say politically correct.
Right. Not he wasn't
mentally
out
challenged.
there.
Yeah,
I would say
mentally challenged. So we could say that. And in this case, with Winston, the way that Peter Dinklage plays him is it's a very good rendition of the character. Sympathetic. You get to know who he is as a person within moments. You
Right.
find out he's diagnosed with like a really bad disease and he's dying. And then the doctor is not so happy. It's like he's not so caring either. And then GBH, who he works for, is that the right thing? GBH? Yeah.
BTH.
BTH. I get it wrong. So BTH.
Yeah, you're good.
But they're not willing to pay for anything, and he's taking care of his
Right.
stepson at this time too. His wife had passed away. She's a legend to his stepson, and he talks about her, and he tries
Right.
to bring the kid to some sort of happiness in some way.
Yeah.
Every little aspect, regardless of him being negative like $1,200 or $1,500 in the bank account, and he has nothing to pay for his debts. He has nothing to pay for his like medical
He's
costs.
destitute.
He's destitute. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god! And it's like you're pulling on the heartstrings and everything for this guy. Now, mind
and
you,
I don't know.
good.
I don't know why. Okay, because the audience for this movie
Mhm.
is not here for that.
No,
The audience for this movie is here to see the other stuff
Action.
that happens.
the
the action.
extremism.
They're looking
that was-
for. They're looking for Toxic Avenger. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for, hey, let's tell you this sad story, and pull on those. Let's see if we can win some kind of Oscar for like, even if it's just the most heartfelt or backstory or some shit like that.
Yeah. It's so weird how the story has changed, but it still has the exploitive aggression and violence in it that we all look for, because that's what we were looking for in this particular
Right.
movie.
Right.
The only thing we didn't get was you didn't have a lot of misogyny, which is great. You didn't get as much nudity, whether it be male or female, because Troma will
Yeah.
go either way, honestly, because Lloyd has shown that before, and you go, what am I watching when you
Hey,
watch
just
a
check out
Troma
Terra
film?
Firma.
Oh,
and
yeah, I
then-
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. A Troma film, you're in for a lot of trauma, honestly, out there. It's literally, it's like, it's like, why did I watch that? Why did Mark suggest this movie to me? No, I do not suggest these movies to you unless it's a specific kind of person that seeks out
Right.
and watches these.
Exactly.
I know people in New Jersey that watch these all the time religiously, because
Yeah.
guess what? Troma is based where?
New Jersey.
So and that's how I was affiliated and called in saying, hey, do you want to do this? And I'm like, even if it's just like just show up and be a side character or somebody in the distance. I could have done that, but I was like, nah, I just can't afford it. It's like, you can't afford to pay me at this point, even if it is scale for the day, as an extra. Anyhow, but I looked forward to watching this particular film because honestly, I heard so much things. And as soon as I heard Peter Dinklage was attributed to it, and then you got Elijah Wood, and then you got Kevin Bacon, I was just like, oh, I'm in. And how much could this movie really be? And how much did it cost? And obviously it didn't apparently cost that much money. A lot of people put their name on it just for the fact that they just want to have their name on a Troma film, because they grew up with the idea of Troma and they loved Lloyd, or Lloyd had a lot of stuff on them that he had to bargain with them to be in his film. So gotta love Lloyd. But it's like if I look at in my notes, I have the 24 remake of the Toxic Avenger. The composition was by the brothers Brooke and Will Blair, and they're also known as the Blair Brothers. They created scores that includes orchestral pieces, a variety of genres like crime, jazz, and occult rock, and original songs. So we get that from the composition.
Right.
Yeah, and it to me there's so many people involved within this particular film that you go, and this got made for why? And it's going to go down in the legacy of the movie that got delayed because during the pandemic, I had mentioned it during a game night that I had with friends, and somebody was just like, no, they're not making that. Yeah, they are. And this was like 2020 to 2021 that I knew about this. I posted it, and then somebody goes, no, they're not. And my buddy Dez goes, he mentions it. He goes, oh my God, they're doing a Toxic Avenger. I'm like, bro, I told you that like a year and a half ago. He was like, what? It's like, yeah. So it just happened because people, Lloyd wanted it to happen. He wanted a bigger budget Troma film. And oddly enough, due to scrutiny, guess what? This happened. It did happen.
Yeah.
And you got big actors behind it, which was amazing. So with that, we're going to go right into the synopsis. Enough of me just going on and on and on. We're going to get more into
both of us
stuff. Yeah. If Frank, if you want to read the synopsis for us, that would be greatly appreciated.
All right. Let me get when a downtrodden janitor, Winston Goose, is exposed to a catastrophic toxic accident, he's transformed into a new kind of hero, the Toxic Avenger. Now, Toxie must rise from outcast to savior, taking on ruthless corporate overlords and corrupt forces who threaten his son, his friends, and his community. In a world where greed runs rampant, justice is best served radioactive.
Yep. Pulled off of, I believe, Amazon that I got that from, which is so funny. The movie's been, like I said before, it's in pre-production hell. It was in production hell for a long time.
Yeah.
And then the release was delayed by 2 years. It was supposed to be done in 2023. And then it's like, 2024. Now it's like, it's 2025. Here we are. Right. And honestly, it's fine. It's one of those movies that you could just you could stream right now.
Yeah. It's been a long road. I mean, it's longer than people realize because if you go back in the history, they originally announced this or floated the idea back in 2010.
Correct.
So, and then it had so many people attached to it. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger at one point, they were like, we want you to be in the Toxic Avenger. And, unfortunately, other things came up. He had other movies he wanted to make, and he just couldn't do it. So it went from actor to actor, from studio to studio.
Yes.
And at one point they said this is never going to be released, Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of all people see Lloyd Kaufman's name and they go, no.
You know what Troma brings.
Exactly.
What Troma brings.
Of all things, if Arnold would be in there, it's like, what are you doing? I'm going to kill you. I'm the Toxic Avenger.
I'll tell you what, it would probably be not too different from what it is right now because he probably wouldn't be doing any of the physical acting. He just do the voices just like Peter Dinklage did.
Yeah, and a lot of it that's a little behind the scenes. Kudos to
Right.
that. A lot of what Peter Dinklage did was his own scenes, which
Yeah.
were of him as Winston, and then he just did voiceover work, and he had a little person stunt person
Yeah.
in the toxic suit.
And it's female.
Really? Okay, I did not
Yes.
know that, and I didn't find that information, so that's good for you.
Yeah, she's a female in the suit.
Oh, kind of like E.T. back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and kudos and credo to her for doing that and pulling that off, because that stuff is not
Her name
fun
was
to work
Luisa
in.
Guerrero.
Wow, it's not fun to work in those kind of suits.
No.
At all.
And you never really you can't really tell that it's female, first of all. But they did a good job of matching up his voice to her acting.
Yes, the lip syncing, the ADR that they do within film, which does take time, everybody.
Yeah.
I actually recently had to work on an independent film to about a week and a half ago, and that was fun. I had to work 16 hours in the cold and the wet, and it wasn't fun.
Ooh.
No. I'm like, why do I do these independent horror films? Why? Why? I have to do audio in this?
Because we love them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. The Forest Hills did well, which I actually did something for, which was pretty cool. But this one was just another one where I'm like, why am I here? Oh yeah, I just want to have my name on something if it goes somewhere, you know.
Right.
But yeah, with that, we're going to move on within this particular film. We'll get into people we may know within the film. So you want to start us off?
So first and foremost, playing our protagonist is Peter Dinklage, and his name in the movie is Winston, or Toxie, as the Toxic Avenger.
Oh, that's it. You know, where else have we seen him?
Oh, a little something called the Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Stop at season 6.
Yeah, we like to give our listeners a little
PSA.
something. Yeah, Game of Thrones season 6. He's been in a bunch of other films too. By the way,
I mean, there's too many things to list, like The Ticket Agent, things like that.
Yeah,
he's a very accomplished actor. He's actually a very good actor.
Yeah,
and it's amazing to see him in something like this. But it makes sense if you know like his backstory, because like he used to be in a band with his brother, and he was like the lead singer and stuff like that. So
he looked like a flock of seagulls too. Everybody, if you look at some pictures, he's got that little coiffed hair, and look at a little person with a coiffed hair, and I was like, oh my god, it just reminds me
very
of
rock and roll.
Yeah, well, it also reminds me of that '80s song where they had a dwarf in it, and it's like,
it's Safety Dance.
The Safety Dance, and I'm like, I'm not saying and put him in that corner, and it's not me discriminating, but the thing is, it's like, it's just me. As soon as I think of that, but with him with that hair, I could see him doing that on stage and be like, I'll be like, if I was stoned out of my mind or drunk at a club in the 80s or 90s at that point, probably in the 90s when he was doing this, I would have been like, dude, that guy's got skills. But Peter Dinklage, I have a lot of respect for the man. He is a little person. He is a dwarf. But he has come such a long way, because when he played this character, I didn't think of him as a dwarf. I thought of him as just another person. And that's how he plays every character he plays. He doesn't think of himself as a little person or a dwarf. He thinks of himself as that character, which is fine. And you learn to appreciate and accept that when you watch him on screen. At first, you're like, oh, it's a little guy. Then you realize as the movie progresses, after like maybe 5-10 minutes, it's like, oh, it's not all about his size, it's who he is. And
Yeah.
that's what makes Peter Dinklage. But I was really astounded by this. But okay. Let's move on. We got another one here that's a heavy hitter. The one and only Kevin Bacon as Bob
That's right.
Garbinger. He is the villain. We all know him from Tremors 1990, Footloose 1984, Hollow Man in 2000. That was that was the poor man's like Invisible Man back in the day.
Right.
And he was in also another independent film from 1980 that was an exploitation film for its time. What is that film, Frank?
That is Friday the 13th, the very
original.
first. That's right.
Which Jamie and I
Which everybody sits there and goes, "It's Jason." It isn't Jason.
Nope. The original did not have Jason in it. It had
Well,
mother
technically.
at the end.
Yeah.
Jamie Dimmick and I had just recently wrapped up, and it's out there already. Our coverage for Friday the 13th Part 6. Jason Lives. So we do bring up a lot of the old Jason movies and stuff like that. We didn't bring this up, but I brought it up at the end after recording to Jamie that Frank and I were doing this, and she goes, "Oh man," she would have loved to have been on this, but she can only record so many times out of a week. But Kevin Bacon is synonymous in Hollywood. Everybody knows there's 6 degrees of Jason. Kevin Bacon.
Right.
Kevin Bacon.
6 degrees Kevin Bacon, right.
Yeah, I keep saying Jason, probably because I have Friday the 13th on my head. But the thing is that Kevin Bacon is synonymous with Hollywood. Everybody remembers him. He was actually in an X-Men film. You know, he was in X-Men First Class.
First Class, yeah.
And, you know.
Sebastian Shaw.
Yep. He did. He played Sebastian Shaw. And he's been in a lot of really good films over the years. What was he in Flatliners? I can't remember. I think he was in
Flatliners.
So the original Flatliners.
I think Kiefer Sutherland's in there too.
Yeah. And Julia Roberts, I think too. And then there's like a whole bunch of films.
There's a list of things. Yeah.
There's
even nowadays. He was just in not that long ago the holiday special for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, that was about 2 or 3 years ago, and we covered that on Panels to Pixels podcast, and that was amazing for the fact that it's like he just played himself.
Yeah,
he just had to play himself. The man is 67 years old, and he still looks like he's like in his like late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah,
how do you do that? I don't know. He lives up by me up in upstate New York. I've met him maybe 2 or 3 times in passing, and it's the weirdest thing to see. It's like, hey, Kevin Bacon. It's like, yeah, coming down to Daryl's house and we're going to play a show and blah, blah. I was like, oh, bro, what the hell? he has his own farm, him and his wife.
Nice.
And it's so pretty cool. They apparently are very nice people, from what I'm told, but every time I bumped into him, he was very accommodating, warm to talk to, and just loves his fans. So I never got an autograph, never got a picture, which to me, I think meeting somebody like that, casually like that, I'd be like, hey, can I get a picture?
I would, yeah.
I
wouldn't do it either.
Goofy. I didn't do that with James Earl Jones, and I actually sat with the man when he was doing physical therapy with my mom.
Right.
That was funny, but I had a chance to actually talk to Darth Vader himself or the guy from Conan, as I called it, because he was surprised that I preferred him as that character. I don't know.
Also Doom.
Yep. Yeah, it was wild. But yeah, he is just who he is. And I think Peter Dinklage is just the same. I think they just do these parts just because the fact that they can at times,
right? And
it's more for being artistic.
And I love to see that.
Yeah,
I love to see any actor who is down to do something that you wouldn't like normally think to yourself, oh, this guy's successful, he's made it, there's no reason why he has to do this particular film. But the fact that they're willing to do those things,
Yeah.
and that they are, like, when you hear stories about them, that they're nice people even outside,
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really cool to see that. Who do we have next?
Next, we have Jacob Tremblay as Wade, the kid or the stepson of Toxie.
Okay.
And he's interesting in the part in that he's clearly got some things going on with him. He's lost his mom,
Mm-hmm.
and he obviously has like social anxiety cues, things like that. And he's talking about his movement piece that he wants to do. And at the end of the movie, you actually see it, but while he's in it, he goes up for like an audition and he can't do it. And you start to see like how different it is now when kids with social media, because right away, as soon as he's done with the audition or messing up the audition, there it is on the internet, like right away. Oh, this kid just shit the bed so bad. And I was like, wow, that's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been in a lot of films.
Yes.
One
I recognize the name. I can't think of what he's
most
been in, though.
notably is Room in 2015 that had, of all things, Captain Marvel herself.
Okay.
If you remember.
Vaguely remember that.
Yeah, he was in the room with Brie Larson, if you'll recall. And after that, he moved on to other films. Wonder in 2017. He did Luca, which was an animated film, so he did a voiceover for that in 2021. In 2018, he was in The Predator. He played the little kid, the son.
Okay. Yes.
And in 2019, he was in Doctor Sleep, which was the sequel to The Shining.
Right.
That not many people
With Ewan
get
McGregor.
or understand. Or they don't understand it. It was with Ewan McGregor. So I thought that was pretty cool. This kid's been around for a while. He's 19 years old now. So
Nice.
he was playing a little bit out of his range, but you're talking, this was done like 3-4 years ago.
Right.
So he was still young at that time, and he had that young look to him. So it works out.
It fits. I mean, he's got a lot to do in the movie.
Yeah.
But he's not really, he doesn't have a lot of speaking parts. It's more along the lines of what he emotionally does with the part.
Correct.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, next up, we have the one and only Elijah Wood, Frodo Baggins from Lord of the Rings, everybody.
And I love the look that
the
he
look
had
was
in this
amazing.
one.
They literally put a bald cap on him and put some like scarab. It's like
right away I'm thinking Penguin from Batman, but
yeah,
I have to say though, I feel like he was kind of wasted in this part because
I think he just wanted to do something a little
I
bit
think
weird
so too.
Out of there, because he's done that before. I saw a movie.
He did Maniac.
He did Maniac. There was another movie that he had done that was like straight to video. It was like Open Windows in 2014.
Yes.
And to me, that was just like, whoa, he went really independent film, really strange, but it worked. And not only did he do that, he did Cooties, if you'll remember that.
Yes, Cooties, yeah.
He did Cooties in 2014 as well. So there was a moment in his career, and I think that kind of sprung on him in the year of 2005 when he did Sin City, where he did play a weird ass character from the comic.
But he did really great in that character. Like he invested himself in that character between the eyes and just the overall demeanor, because he never says anything.
Of it. Yeah. He was like a psychotic that was like a sociopath that was just like, I'm here to kill.
He's a cannibal. He's a cannibal. He eats people.
All that coming from, I forget her name. Oh, she
Jessica
was
Alba? What?
no. It was a singer, and he was in the music video when he was a kid. I'm forgetting her name.
Oh,
She used to be a fly dancer on Living Color. I forget her name.
not Jennifer Lopez.
Not J Lo. Oh, no, Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, he was in a Paula Abdul video, and he was very young. He was a little kid at that time. Right around that time, he also was doing what other movie? Back to the
North.
Future Part 2.
Oh, that too.
And he was the kid with the, it's like, oh, you got to use hands to play the video game. And he, obviously we know him from the Hobbit movies. He was in The Faculty in 1998, so he's no stranger to horror. Deep Impact, which was amazing, I thought, for its time. We already mentioned.
Got married to that girl. Was she Jennifer Lawrence? Wait a minute.
No, that wasn't Jennifer Lawrence.
No, okay.
He was in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind,
right,
with Jim Carrey and everybody, and it was like in an ensemble cast, but he was very much lower on the tier, and that had Kirsten Dunst in it, and he's been in multiple and bunch of movies, shows, everything, and he's always notable for playing Frodo Baggins.
Right.
And I do appreciate that. And he's already made his staple in cinematic history with doing that.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah.
He doesn't have to do any more. I saw something recently on Instagram where he went to it's called Hobbiton in New Zealand.
Yes,
and it's actually where they filmed.
He showed up at the wedding.
Yep. He showed up at somebody's wedding and took pictures with them. That is how cool
that's
Elijah
awesome.
Wood is. That is how cool he is. Now, I look at him as like my nephew because he's younger than I am, and he's got gray hair like my nephew.
Yeah,
but I'm like, I'm like, he's still young. You're a young dude.
Yeah, he is.
Actually, the other hobbits had a birthday. The other two, they celebrated at the Scum and Villainy bar in California recently. Billy Boyd and I forgot the other guy's name. I'm sorry, but it was so funny. I just keep remembering. It's like I keep seeing them, and it's like The Hobbit is such a huge thing in our world. Anyhow, let's move forward. I'm talking too much.
No, you're good. Next one we have Taylor Page as J.J. Doherty, the wild card. She's basically a reporter in this. Mm-hmm. Or, well, not really. I guess she's the source because the guy who gets killed in the beginning, he's actually the reporter.
Hmm.
And she's just the, as Kevin Bacon keeps referring to her as the Judas or the traitor, because she's giving information about BTH and the things that they're doing wrong, or they're, dumping chemicals and things like that. But then the mutant bird that you see constantly throughout the film clearly shows that. I mean,
when we get to that, that's going to be hilarious. I love that scene. All right. With her, Taylor Page, she started her career in High School Musical 3 in 2008. Nice. She also has done other films. She actually did a movie recently with Peter Dinklage called Brothers, if you remember, with Josh Brolin.
Okay.
And you could watch it on Amazon Prime, everybody. I watched it. It's so funny because you got two brothers, and Josh Brolin doesn't play the most intelligent of the both brothers, and then Peter Dinklage being more the oddly enough, and it doesn't make it odd, he's the more sexually aggressive to women and a misogynist himself. He's really good at it.
But after playing Tyrion for so many years, he can pull that off.
Yes, he can. She was in Beverly Hills Cop XLF in 2024 as well.
Yeah, I remember seeing her in that.
Yeah. I believe she played Akmal Foley's daughter. if I recall properly. And she's been in a bunch of other movies like Mac and Rita, One Battle After Another. There's a whole slew of movies. You just go to her IMDb or Wikipedia, and you could find everything there. This is not a movie, a moment to be trifled with, too, because she's very aggressive as an actor in this particular film as the character, but
Right.
has a little bit umspa, as I could say it, as far as her credibility and her acting. And she makes you notice her right away on screen.
Yeah.
So I really did enjoy her work. So last up,
And
just
then the
for
last
fun.
person.
Yep. Macon Blair as Dennis the Noisy Slob.
That's how he's credited. But he's also
The director, screenwriter, and executive producer.
so he's the man who gets, if anybody's wondering who he is, he's the dude who gets his arm ripped off after Toxie messes up his car.
Yeah. And
But he's evil.
he's been in so much movies. I actually watched a movie of
Yes.
his recently this past week. I've been on vacation for about it ends this Sunday. But this coming Sunday, I should say. But he's been in a lot of movies. He's a credible actor, definitely director and producer. The movie I watched was Green Room from 2015.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
It's a wild movie, a wild
Yeah.
ride. Patrick Stewart
Stewart, yeah.
as a white supremacist. And Anton Yelchin in his last movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, everybody, it's sad. But Anton did such a great movie. And it's a horror movie and horrible movie to watch.
Right. It's a horror movie in that it's a situation that you would never want to find yourself in.
Exactly. And everybody who was in it was amazing, including him. Macon was amazing at it because he's the one that has to call in what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you have a movie that you don't mind extreme violence, dealing with white supremacist Nazis and all that crap, go watch it for the fact that it's like kids that stumble on doing a show and struggling as a band, and they're stuck in a situation they have to get themselves out of. And it's a solid movie.
Oh, yeah.
He was in that. He was also in Murder Party in 2007. The Florida Project from 2017. Oppenheimer in 2023. He had a role in that at one point. So he's been around, and he not just as a director, producer, but also as an actor, and making his way through the system and making his career known. So he is a very credible. The one that I do like is The Hunt from 2020.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
That was a really good one. Yeah.
That was another really good one. That was like 10 Little Indians. If you think about it, it's people stuck by rich people in a deserted area, and they're being hunted. And, go watch it. Have fun. I'm not going to spoil it.
It's a good one. It's a good, solid watch. There's quite a bit of gore.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's an all-star cast in that too. There's a lot of actors that are big in that movie. He also did I Care a Lot as well in 2020. If you'll remember that, that was an independent film, but it's on streaming, and it's a manipulation of people in retirement homes and things of that nature. I found it very interesting, and the main antagonist in it was very good. She's been around for a long time. Anyhow, those are the people that we may know in the film. We are leaving some people out. I mentioned Annette Badland was in it. She was in Ted Lasso, as well as Sarah Niles. If you remember the therapist in Ted Lasso, that's who Sarah Niles was. She plays Mayor Togar. And then Annette Badland plays Daisy, and she was the bartender in Ted Lasso at the pub. So if you all remember her, she was the one. It was like It's like, come on, you mates. So, and then you had Jane Levy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in that. Lloyd Kaufman himself makes an appearance. And then you got
Briefly.
Julia, briefly. And then you got Julia Davis in it as well. So there's a lot of people that make their appearance. We can't really concentrate. I wanted to go on the main cast mostly, but so we could get to the discussion, because right now we're about 40 minutes in, and here we are.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about the history of the Toxic Avenger and why there was a remake of the film. What had happened and why it took so long for it to come out once the remake was in production.
So starting off with the Toxic Avenger. Okay. This was 1984, basically superhero black comedy. It was produced and directed by Michael Hers and Lloyd Kaufman. Lloyd Kaufman went under the name of Samuel Well for directing.
Yeah.
From a screenplay by Joe Ritter, based on a story by Kaufman. Film was produced and released by Troma Entertainment. It is the first installment of the Toxic Avenger film series and generated a media franchise. So there's actually Toxic Avenger, and then there's 3 other movies of varying quality.
Toxic Avenger 2, and then Toxic Avenger 3. And then what was it?
Toxic Avenger: The Last Temptation of Toxie.
There you go. Okay.
there's a whole thing there.
Yes, there is.
Now, of those movies, as far as I'm concerned, Toxic Avenger is the best of them.
Yes.
Even in Toxic Avenger 3, or I think it may have been even 4, there's a point where Stan Lee does the voiceover.
Yes.
And he actually says, after we made like 2 crappy movies, we're really sorry about those. And now here we are again. So it's interesting.
Yeah, apparently Lloyd had something on Stan Lee at that point.
Hell, if you're out there long enough, you'll get something on everybody. So.
Yeah, exactly. But Lloyd's
just
still
look at
around.
Roger Corman.
Yep. Well, yeah, Roger Corman actually does know Lloyd, which is so funny.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because they've all been around. Roger Corman, Stan Lee, and they all know each other. They all work in that wheel well. That was old Hollywood, in my opinion. Is, if you think about it, old Hollywood or old celebrity at that time, because Stan being Marvel, Roger Corman, big B movie. I love The Incredible Melting Man, the thing with 2 heads, things like that.
Humanoids from the Deep.
Yep. Piranha. And there's so much. And then you got Lloyd with Troma.
And both of them are similar in that they've given a lot of people who are huge names now.
Oh, yeah.
Opportunities. James Cameron from Roger Corman. I think he even had some stuff that he did with Troma as well.
He did Piranha too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And James Gunn.
Oh, yeah. James Gunn definitely did. And that's why James Gunn put Lloyd in Guardians of the Galaxy, which was like an homage, but it's like a tribute. It's like, hey, bro, have fun. Be in my movie.
Yeah.
You're in a Disney film, dude.
Never thought that would happen. All right, so in 1975, Lloyd Kaufman had the idea to shoot a horror film involving a health club while serving as the pre-production supervisor on the set of Rocky.
Wow.
Years later, at the Cannes Film Festival, Kaufman read an article that stated monster movies were no longer popular, so he decided to produce his own take on one based on his idea. It was given the original working title of Health Club Horror, and that it was eventually retitled to Toxic Avenger.
Ah, okay. I did not know that. That's pretty funny.
So going into the more recent times, in April 2010, a remake of Toxic Avenger was announced. The remake said to be aiming for a family-friendly PG-13 release, which was never going to happen. That's just me. Similar to the animated Toxic Crusaders, which, if anybody doesn't remember, there actually was a cartoon based on the Toxic Avenger.
I own 2 animated cells that I bought off of Lloyd Kaufman at a Chilla Theater convention in New Jersey, everybody. So I think I have the last 2 that Lloyd had. I still have them.
So for that Toxic Crusaders television series, that was set to be co-written and directed by Steve Pink, or at least that's what the original movie was supposed to be. It was really supposed to be co-written and directed by Steve Pink. In May 2013, Arnold Schwarzenegger was in talks for a role in the film. He eventually had to drop out because he did Terminator Genesis, which, if you've ever seen Terminator Genesis, a lot of people don't like it. I actually think it's okay.
I think it's okay as well. Actually, you got somebody else from Game of Thrones in that particular movie. Emilia Clarke.
Yes, and I'm drawing a blank.
She plays Sarah Connor.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sitting here and I'm like, wait, and I'm thinking of the guy who was the Terminator. Anyway.
He's always been in a ton of movies. I love him. He's Australian.
Yes.
He's a great actor. I love him too.
All right. In September 2016, reports indicated that Conrad Vernon would direct the film, with Guillermo del Toro of Double Dare You, Bob Cooper and Alex Schwartz of Storyscape Entertainment, and Akiva Goldsman and Greg Lance. Somebody's using run-on sentences here, but all right. Anyway, Greg Lessons of Weed Road Pictures executive producing, while Mike Arnold and Chris Poole were attached to rewrite the screenplay by Pink and Daniel C. Mitchell. In December 2018, Legendary Pictures won the rights to reboot The Toxic Avenger, with the original producers Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Turs of Troma Entertainment returning in March. Period. In March of 2019, Macon Blair was announced to write and direct. Of the script, Kaufman said, "Macon Blair knows Troma better than I do. He's seen everything. He's seen the cartoon Toxic Crusaders. He's seen the Halloween special. He's seen everything. And he loves our movies. I've read the script and it's better than the original. And I leave it to him. If I'm called upon, I'd be happy to jump in. I learned on the musical to leave the creative to the creative. I learned to let them ask. So if they want me, I'm there. I hope that Legendary keeps going. If they let Macon Blair direct it, I think it'll be terrific. He knows the Troma sense of humor, the combination of slapstick and satire with the environmental theme and satire. Yeah.
I think so too.
Clearly, when you're watching this movie, if you're a fan of Troma, you can see the DNA in this movie.
Yes.
Because if you're paying attention, there's a lot going on in the background.
Oh,
Constantly.
yeah.
There's a lot of
New
really
Jersey.
there's a lot of really meta jokes that are in the background. There's even TVs playing. You have to listen to what the TVs are saying, and it's crazy, but it's definitely fits the Troma style.
Yeah. There's always a commentary in whatever Troma does.
Yes.
And you don't really get it because of all the exploitation that's in the films themselves.
Yeah.
So your mind is already all over the place. It's like dazzle them with pornography, excessive violence, and really foul language, but have everything else in the background to be subliminal.
Yeah.
Not to squeeze my water bottle, everybody. But yeah, it just that's how it feels when you actually do that. It's like very subliminal to the viewer as they're watching these films, and you're just like, oh, I thought I was just watching a regular exploitation film. That's like Evil Dead or something else that's out there. And no, there's like a subliminal commentary that's in there that you just don't get. And originally, that's what
if you
Lloyd
blink,
was
you'll
doing.
miss it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
So getting down to finally, In November 2020, Peter Dinklage came on board to star. Additional cast members were revealed from April to June of 2021. Principal photography commenced on June 21st, 2021 in Bulgaria and wrapped on August in 2021. In December 2021, Dinklage said the film was not a remake. In January 2022, Blair confirmed that the film will employ practical glow effects and time period setting will be a little bit of the both in the past and the present. And Luisa Guerrero wore the full bodysuit and the makeup of the Toxic Avenger with Dinklage dubbing the dialogue in post-production.
Yeah, which it does not surprise me at all. I think what you get to see a lot of Peter Dinklage in the very beginning. So there's a lot of acting from Dinklage. Him emoting, doing everything, especially with the Toxie transformation with the and it's spinning around and everything. Typical Troma format. And I thought that was amazing. And then on top of that, all you have to do is ADR. You have to do just dubbing at that point. But sometimes there's an art to that. So you have to literally, because he wasn't acting at that point. So he doesn't know the beats. So he's trying to do this. He's probably doing it from home, from his computer, like we are doing his podcast.
I could clearly see that he learned a lesson because there was I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but a game that came out a couple of years ago called Destiny.
Oh, okay.
Peter Dinklage in that game is playing a character, but it's a robot basically. And he played it a specific way, and he got a lot of flack for the way that he played it. It was like he basically phoned it in. So a lot of people were like, yo, man, don't come to something like this where it's going to have a huge fandom. It was new at the time.
Yeah.
But Destiny's got a huge fandom now. And even then, people were upset. They were like, yo, if you're going to do your voiceover, make sure that you're doing your voiceover like you would if you were acting in person. She really is no different. And they ended up actually taking his part out of that game and having it replaced with Nolan North. So Nolan North, if anybody knows in games, he's huge. He's a really great voice actor. And that says a lot to say your performance was not on a par and had to be redone completely. So I think he learned that in this one because his voice acting in this one is actually really good. They really just had to match up his voice with the physical acting of Luisa. And they did a really good job with that. And he's believable when you're listening to him. Anyway.
Awesome.
All right.
So that's a little bit of the history and where the new movie came from, everybody. The history of the original Toxic Avenger and what we have now today. Now we're going to move on to, as we always do, and then this podcast. Obviously, this is going to be a longer podcast than normal, everybody. Normally, we keep it around an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. We try. We're about an hour in now, which is fine. And I'm glad that you guys are still sitting with us and listening to us just talk, because you could tell it's like Mark and Frank are just two friends just bantering about this. Why am I listening to this? Well, because we love this stuff. We're kind of two geeks that love this kind of weird stuff. Anyhow, so we're going to go into general thoughts of the movie, overall thoughts of what you thought of the new movie, Frank, as in comparison to the old one, where it stands. Does this fill your Troma quota?
Okay, so first things first.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Troma.
Yeah,
in everything.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen almost every movie that they've done, even the ones that nearly made me throw up. Which that's hard to do, but Terra Firma,
almost Romeo and Juliet almost it got me sick too.
Romeo and Juliet didn't do it. Terra
Really?
Firma is the one.
Oh,
Terra
okay.
Firma is the one that did it.
Okay.
But I love, at the time when Toxic Avenger came out, it's 84.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 14 years old. And the only way that I get to see this is through videotapes. So when I'm out at the video store, like I'm getting this at this time, I'm really finding I like horror. I like science fiction.
Yeah.
The Thing, Halloween, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
This was the movie that came along and they said, look, all those things that you saw in all those other movies that they cut away or they do like half-ass or anything like that.
Yeah.
This is them basically going ahead and like, hey, everything is up for grabs. The guy's getting his arm ripped off. Guy gets turned into a basketball and used to play. There's a whole lot that goes on in the original Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
And you have to be prepared for that. Now, at the same time, don't go in there expecting an Oscar-winning movie. This is very much a B, actually a grade Z movie. Okay,
Yeah,
but it knows what it is. It doesn't try to be anything else other than that.
What
and
it
that's
is.
not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's almost like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yes, exactly.
Or Tire. What
Tire,
was it?
yeah.
Was it Tire? Or what was that?
Tire with the psychic tire that was killing people?
Yeah, was it called Tire?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's Tire, yeah.
Okay, all right, good. All right, yeah, there's like so many movies. It is what it is, and that's what it has. At that time, around that time, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was the biggest, huge thing, and George Clooney was in that particular movie too. By the way,
exactly, right.
But the thing is that it basically gives you what you want,
right?
But with this particular film, with the Toxic Avenger, like I said before, there's things in the background, like Frank was saying, that is commentary, but you get all the exploitation, the sex, the violence, the verbal attack of profanity, and it's just nonstop. And then it's low budget, low quality, but you get what you get, and it is what it is. The kind of commentary in the background was not something that everybody would actually get. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes itself too was also a commentary that people didn't get back in the day as well.
Yeah, it's one of those movies I like to call a check your brain at the door movie.
Yes.
You don't have to go in and pay attention to those things. You can just enjoy the movie for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do pay attention, you do get a payoff on specific things that they're doing in the background. And it's kind of interesting. Now, for this one, I have to say, I like the movie.
Okay.
I wanted to love it. I did. But I don't love it. I don't love it. I really do like it.
Yeah.
It's just that I feel like
you kind of
there's a lot of things that they threw in there.
Pedestal. You're putting the original on a pedestal, and
it's not even that. I feel like they did a lot in this movie that they didn't have to. Okay,
that is true.
I feel like making him a family guy. Okay, cool, but really, why? It wouldn't have been necessary. The original story is just you're a loner. You have these bullies who are messing with you.
Yeah.
They throw you into radioactive waste, just like in this one. You know what I mean? So it wasn't really necessary for him to have the whole thing with the family. I mean, it helps. It helps.
Yes. It's not isolating the character is what it is.
Exactly, right.
Back then it was okay to do something like that, but now it's taboo. Everybody goes, "Oh, you're making fun of the mentally disabled. What was wrong with you? Why are you doing this?"
And here's the thing with that, and you get Peter Dinklage in it. It's not going to be that, and we already know that because that's the way that he plays his movie, or the way that he acts. you're not going to look at him and you don't see him as that little person. Even in Game of Thrones, where he's specifically
As
like
Tyrion
the big thing with
Lannister,
him is Tyrion. He's the dwarf. He's the the gnome, the troll.
Mhm.
He's all of these things that it's all about him being born short and killing his family and things like. But when he plays that part, that's not the part that you remember. You don't remember the fact that he's short. You remember the fact that he's this awesome character who is constantly outthinking all of the people around him because they look at him and they see this short little thing. And that's the way this could have been played here. I think that would have been a better way to go at it than having this whole, let's have this emotional moments with him having his stepson and things like that.
Yeah.
When realistically, again, this is not the audience they're not coming here to see that emotional story with his kid. It's nice that they threw it in there and it works. I like the movie. I'm not knocking it.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm saying is I could have loved it if they've gone at it with it's just balls to the wall. And I'll give you an example of a movie that does it a better way and does the same thing. If you've seen Terrifier,
Yes.
2 and 3, all 3 of those movies, Art the Clown is unapologetically himself. You don't look at him, you don't see him as, he's just this weird, freaky dude. No, he's a force. And you basically are having to try to survive him. And the things that he does and the way that they do the gore and everything like that, it's just over the top and it fits. I actually feel like this whole unrated thing with the Toxic Avenger was a marketing ploy because
it was a marketing ploy. I don't think this was as graphic or anything as Terrifier or even the original Toxic Avenger with the exploitation of it, of what it was. When I saw this, I was like, it's like, and I sent you a copy of it just so that way you could see it. And I was just like, what the? And I'm like, okay. I fell asleep to this movie 3 times. I tried to watch it. It was late after work, obviously. I fell asleep 3 times. Now, mind you, the movie's like a little over an hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah.
Why did I fall asleep? Probably because it didn't hold my attention. And also, I was tired from the end of the day from work because I do physical work. But you would think I would love it for the fact that it's called The Toxic Avenger. I love Troma. And I would be alert watching these films. Yeah. I kind of feel with the way that you do when you say, I'm not in love with the film. It was an okay film, and it was an okay, I would say, remake of the original Toxic Avenger. It did it justice with the violence, I would say 100%, because some of the gore in it was pretty cool. And I did like it, and it was mostly practical effects. You did have CGI in it, but in this case,
only when necessary.
Only when necessary. And then then you had the over the top of the celebrity in the film too, based upon the nostalgia of the original film, and that's why I'm sure a majority of these people got involved. So that really is what attributed to a lot of people wanting to be in the film and people wanting to see the film. And it made me want to see the film. But after about, I would say, I used to fall, like, as I recall, I fell asleep at least the 40-minute mark into the film. Yeah. Because it takes a little while for things to boot up and meet into it, where he transforms, he meets the homeless man, finds his own way, gets his little advice, and then he moves on to his little tyranny. And then on top of that, he has to go home. We do get the whole blind girl collaborative thing in the restaurant like the original film, but it's not a love interest at this point. And then you have the tutu, which is reminiscent of the original, so it's thrown in there for nostalgia purposes. Why the parents dressed up in tutus, I do not know. But
I kind of like that they gave a reason for it. I mean, it's the most basic reason ever, but they're both in tutus, like in the little in the picture.
Yes.
And if you blink, again, it's one of those things, if you blink, you'll miss it.
Yes, I saw it.
because it's so brief, and then that sets up in your head like, oh, this is something that they used to do to make him happy.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And then that was kind of like, okay, a nod to the original because, in the original
That's
film,
Melvin. Yeah.
Melvin he told he had to get dressed up in a tutu, and then winds up kissing a goat or something
Sheep.
at the pool. Sheep. Okay.
Yeah.
At the pool. And then
But that's also like, if you watch in the movie, there's a part where, and I don't know why he does this, but where Kevin Bacon becomes a satyr.
Oh yes.
There's a part where they have a sheep statue, and at one point it's got its mouth closed, and then they come back to it a second later after he's turning, and the mouth is open. It's like, so I was like, what? Okay, maybe a little nod to the original.
I think it had to be a nod to the original based upon that. You got the crew, which I did like. What did they call them? It was like
The nuts.
The nuts.
Oh,
I have it here.
Crazy
the Killer
Nuts or something like that.
The Killer Nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a fictional band, but it's a band that's like a gang that Kevin Bacon's
Right.
Bob Garbinger owns and uses and utilizes his brother, played by Elijah Wood, Fritz Garbinger, to cause chaos and terrorize people. And I just love how they're utilized as thugs, and just like in the original film, because in the original film you had thugs, and they got dressed up too in certain weird costumes or looks. And then that's a nod to that, especially the guy with the chicken head. And I think that was a nod to Poultrygeist, in my opinion. It was like, okay. But it's like, what's this guy wearing a big, huge rubber chicken head? Okay.
And then we saw at the end, like, where he's got a little baby head under there.
Baby head. Like, what the hell? It's from
you
the
could have just stuck with that, dude.
Yeah.
But it's a nice reveal. It's a nice reveal.
It is. I did enjoy that scene, and the one cool thing about that scene, that's one of my favorite moments, and we can move into favorite moments in it. Toxie shows up at this event where the Killer Nuts are playing, and the girl winds up interrupting the PA system, cuts in and plays a song. And the song that they're playing is by Motorhead. And it's Overkill by Motorhead, and Peter Dinklage is singing the words as he's going, and
which again makes sense because he used to be a singer in his band with his brother,
and his wife was a bass player too. By the way, everybody, and I thought that was pretty cool. That's very something attractive to me. I play bass. I've been playing bass since I was 16. But anyhow. He walks up, and then next thing you know, chaos ensues. He takes off somebody's head. He starts going off, and then next thing you know, it's out of the blue. He winds up taking care of the chicken head guy, and it's like, oh, it's a baby in there. What's a baby head doing there? It's like something out of Mario Brothers, but the Mario Brothers movie when you saw the lizards and they had all small lizard heads. Yeah. But I attributed that to Troma being Troma and, the toxic stuff that's going on there. I really appreciated that. There are a lot of needle drops in this particular film. We'll get that towards the end. But that was one of my favorite moments, along with the homeless guy when he meets up with Winston. And I thought it's like, this guy's out of his mind.
Right. He basically is like, I used to be a doctor. And then later on, he's like, who the hell told you I was a doctor?
Exactly.
It's like, you did.
Yeah, you did. Oh, man.
So for me,
good.
My favorite parts, my first one was where he rips the guy's arm off, which I didn't know at the time that he was the director, which just makes it funnier. He rips his arm off, and then he goes, "Is that my arm?"
It's like something out of RoboCop when they shoot him in the nuts. Remember?
Yeah. And then the other one I really like is where he's infiltrating the gangsters are chasing him.
Yeah.
Which, that's another thing. I'm going to get to that in a second, but the gangsters are chasing him, and he kills one of them, and then he's like, "Come here, I got to tell you something." And the guy's like, "What?" And he just keeps on doing it back and forth. He's like, "Come on," and dude, come over here. And finally, he gets close enough to where he's like, "I got you now, sucker." I just think the banality of it, of him just trying to constantly like, come here, and the guy's like, "Dude, what?" Like a normal person, you just be like, "Why do I have to come over there to you? Just tell me from over here. We're close enough. I can hear you." Anyway, but another thing that basically kind of bothers me about this movie is, why did we need the gangster boss? If Kevin Bacon is the big bad,
Yeah.
why does there have to be a bigger bad behind him that really amounts to nothing? Because at the end, Kevin Bacon just goes ahead and turns into a satyr, kills him, and then it's done. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
Why? Anyway,
You're talking about Stockings. Is that what it is?
Yes, yeah.
Or Thad
Thad, the one who keeps calling him Bozo or so.
Barkabas. Thad Barkabas.
Yeah.
It's the bald-headed guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we had that kind of like that in the original Toxie series, if you think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
The mayor was part of that.
The mayor was the big bad.
The mayor was the big bad, but there was other thugs underneath him.
Yeah.
So in this case, it's like Kevin, Garbinger and his brother were working for him, doing his dirty deeds, but the killer nuts were their lackeys, and that's what it all boils down to. It's like
6 degrees of separation as far as the gangsters are concerned.
So
like,
everybody's
right,
going to have a
Nuts,
lot of big games with Kevin Bacon movie.
Kevin Bacon, and then Thad. Yeah,
yeah, exactly, right. Oh my goodness. I did though. The one thing I did like about that with the homeless guy or the doctor is what he says. Sometimes you got to do something,
Yeah.
and so he goes, sometimes a worm is just a worm, or it's like you never know which way the worm will turn.
Worm going right.
I thought that was pretty funny when he says that.
I love the fact that he's like, when he says, "Oh, I'm dying," and he's like, "Well, whoop-de-freaking-do. Let's all have a parade. Let's do this, because we're all dying."
Exactly. As soon as you're born, you're dying. But I thought it's like, it was like in your face, kind of like, it's like, let's have a pity party. You're a creepy little dude. And at the end, what do we get at the end? It's like, oh, your body's regenerating with all this toxic stuff, so you're not dying really.
Yeah.
And he's able to like get with his son at the end, which is fine. And his son is able to do his what was it?
But even that, it just goes down to, why have him be sick in the first place? He's going to turn into the Toxic Avenger.
Exactly.
So
I guess it was meant to show sympathy for the character and to show a point of us caring for the character. But honestly, in the original film, he was honestly, he was supposed to be mentally retarded or something wrong with him, mentally handicapped. And now, guess what?
exactly. Like, he turns into Toxic Avenger. Everybody thinks he's cool. But one of the things that they left out, it was in the original Toxic Avenger, and I really wish they'd include it.
What?
Was the Tromatons. Because in the original Toxic Avenger, the reason why he goes and destroys evil is because the Tromatons in his body, the like kind of like midichlorians and shit.
Yeah, the radioactive stuff.
They drive him crazy, and when he's around evil. So where's the point in the movie where he kills that old lady?
Yes.
And everybody thinks, oh, she's such a nice person, but as it turns out, like when they look a little deeper, she's like a human trafficker and stuff like that. And Toxie was right to destroy her, but the Tromatons made him do it. It made him crazy enough that he had to kill her.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to have something like that here, where he's like, I feel like I kind of feel like they might have tried to do it a little bit, where he was like, I just kind of feel like rage and things like that when they're coming after him. But they didn't fully commit to it, and I would have liked if they'd had that.
Yeah, same here. It's kind of his almost like his spidey sense.
Right.
It's toxic sense.
Although I do kind of like they had a sight gag at the beginning. The name of the town is like St. Thomas, Rowville, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And when the dirty parts of the sign
make it
clean
Troma.
parts spell out Tromaville.
Yes.
So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It's a nod to the original.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's what the whole point of it is. Yeah.
All right, so
we got. Well, what are your top 3 kills?
Okay, top 3. First one is give me your lunch when he reaches into the guy's butt and pulls out his intestines. That's the first one for me.
Okay.
You were just talking about it, as a matter of fact, where they went to the concert, and when he goes to the lead singer of the Killer Nuts, and the guy goes, "You got a mop?" And then he takes off his head.
Yep.
Like
that was mine too.
Just the top part of his head, not even the whole head, just the top part.
Top. And he's like still on stage with it, and he's walking around.
Yeah. And then the other one that I thought was kind of cool, even though it's a silly kill, is where the girl goes, "Follow my lead." And she walks out, "Hey, boys." And the two guys shoot each other by accident. They're not even aiming. They're just holding their guns in their general direction, which is always dumb.
Yeah.
But this is the reason why. The guns go off and both of them die. And Toxie goes, "Wow, that plan was awesome." And she's like, "That wasn't the plan." I was like, oh, man. Okay. But those are my 3 out of... I mean, granted, there's a lot more that you can pick and everything.
There's
we
a
talked
ton
about briefly.
more. You kind of took mine with the "You Got a Mop," and that was with the Killer Nuts on stage. I love that scene. I love the... another one was the restaurant scene when he goes in and, and at the end, he's like exonerated. Everybody loves him for what he did, and that's when they make him a hero. But the fact is, like, so bloody, and you're like,
so it's kind of funny
mutant
in that scene. In the original, they had the guy who was actually one-armed so that Toxie could rip off his arm.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
That's where they meet Toxie's girlfriend, who's blind. Correct. In the original.
Yes.
And in this one, there's also a girl who's blind, but she's not his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But the line that the guy says in the original is, "We're about to cornhole a blind bitch."
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, the guy starts to say that line, and Toxie comes in at that point.
Oh, wow.
And so he doesn't actually finish it, but he starts to say, "We're about to cornhole," and then he goes in and they cut it off.
Yeah. Try to make it more okay in this time of day.
Even though
it's a Troma
even though
film.
your marketing was... It's unrated. It's never going to see the light of day because it's so bad.
Oh, this was they were trying to block this movie for so long.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get it released. Lloyd was trying to get it marketed into the films for years, and nobody wanted to do it. He didn't want to do a direct to streaming release or direct to DVD release. And not that many people do DVD or Blu-ray or 4K Blu-ray anymore, but even streaming content based, it's just like, no. He's like, no, I want it in the theater. I want people to able to go, because literally Lloyd had made most of his money off of Hollywood Video and Blockbuster rentals for the fact that majority of those films, guess what, went straight there. Or you went to Coconuts or whatever places to buy your VHS, because I wound up buying a lot of VHSs of Troma through I forget the name of the company. Kevin Smith, when Kevin had bought his clapper for Clerks, he bought the same thing, and it was in the Menlo Park Mall, and it's the click to do the takes in between films. He bought that there. He literally bought that same click for
I can't remember the
Clerks.
name, so
I forget the name. But yeah, I used to buy my stuff there because you couldn't find it anywhere else other than if you went to Best Buy or something later on, because they would have the weirdest
it's not
DVD.
Spencer's.
It's not Spencer's. No, it was a dedicated like VHS and DVD place.
Right. Yeah.
And the late 90s, early 2000s. And I used to go there all the time. Me and my friend Rich would do that. Actually, that's where I bought of all things Mallrats. And and I had mentioned that to Kevin, and he started laughing. He goes, "How many times did you buy my movies?" I said, "Probably about 3 times each." And he goes, "Well, at least I got my money's worth." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." But yeah, I really enjoyed the film. There was like I said, the restaurant scene, definitely the killer nuts, and then at the very end, the ending scene where he starts taking out people. I just love that the mop was always very stiff with the radiation on it the whole time, and that became more of a whole thing within it. I thought that was pretty cool. But that's about it for my top 3 kills. We don't have any interesting unknown facts for the fact that, well, we talked
we've
about
already
a
given
lot of
quite
that
a few
stuff away.
Yeah.
We already given you a lot of it in the very beginning, everybody. So if you're going to complain, please just complain to me directly. But I do have some notes, and with the other podcasts that I do, I like to do the needle drop. So the soundtrack includes licensed songs from well-known bands, original tracks from fictional groups created for the film, and a new song from the composer's old band. So we are Crazy and Dangerous by the Killer Nuts, which is the fictional band. You could get these, by the way. And then you got The Good Things by the Whoopsie Doos, which is another fictional band in the movie. You got Junto's East 100, Nothing at All by the Giraffes, Let the Music Play by Shannon, My Baby is an Axe by the Killer Nuts, which was a fictional band, My Neck, My Back, Lick It by Kia. We all know that song.
Yes.
Oddly enough, well, I love it for the fact that, we're getting into my vibe of back in the 80s metal. So you got Here Come the Tears by Judas Priest. So it shows Jersey at its true roots of loving old 80s metal. Another one of my favorites, Hull of the Mountain King by Savatage. When you see Winston walking down to the party, that when you see he meets up with Bob Garbinger and he's in the tutu. And it's playing in the background. You would think it would be a gutter ballet by Savatage, but no, they play Whole Account Mountain King, which I didn't mind. Then obviously I mentioned it before, Overkill by Motorhead.
Right.
During the outdoor venue with the Killer Nuts. And then The Look of Love, Part 1 by ABC. So yeah, there was a lot within the movie that I did like. And like I said, just to give you a little bit of notes, the rock group called the Killer Nuts is the actual band that the town loves, as well as Winston and his stepson. So obviously, they loved this band, but they're the ones that wind up giving him the issues within the film. There's a lot of promotion within the movie about it. They call it Monster Corp 2 that they're produced by, which is so funny. And I just love the fact that, the antagonist in the movie is literally BTH, which is the company that he worked for. I just that was the only thing I really enjoyed. Other than that, it's typical, it was kind of delayed, but we got a mix of practical effects, CG effects, and a lot of prosthetics, and it was done very well. Especially when you see the eye slopping out of Toxie's head, and he puts it back in the restaurant at one point too, because they never
he's putting it back in. He's putting it back in.
Yeah, you gotta love these little nuanced things that they do, and you're like, oh. And I highly recommend it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it just for the lark of
Definitely,
it,
yeah.
just for the fun. Have fun with it. You can't go wrong with it.
Especially if you've never seen the original Toxic Avenger, you have no frame of reference, so enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
It's this crazy movie that it probably wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the fact that a lot of really passionate people were like, "Hey, we want to make this."
Or we want to see it is what it is.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like there's no way I'm going to be able to see it unless I do what? I make it myself.
Make it. Right.
Exactly. Make it like bacon. And anyhow, with that, I think we covered this movie enough and talked about it to the point where we talked
Yes.
ourselves blue in the face. Anyhow, for those of you, Halloween is among us, and this will be probably out by the time Halloween shows. So if you're listening to this on Halloween, happy Halloween. If not, belated Halloween. With that, that is our coverage of Toxic Avenger. I don't know, what would we call it? 2023, 2024, 2025. We don't know.
I mean, if you're going to look it up, it's probably 2024 or 2025.
I think it's
So that's-
2024. It's still
the
listed
original is
as
1984, so if you're looking for it, definitely. I mean, if you're interested in seeing the first one, last I checked, it was on Amazon.
It is. Oh,
No, not
actually,
Amazon. Prime Video.
or Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't like the commercials.
Nobody does. Oddly enough, I have the 4-disc DVD box set.
Well, all four of the movies are actually on. Of the originals, are all on Prime Video. That's where I was watching them.
Oh, okay, cool. But you still get some ads on Prime Video, I noticed. Unless you go with the
It
upper
depends
tier.
on the tier. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I have the original DVD that came box set that came out back in the early 2000s.
Nice.
So I bought that. I still have it. I'm like, I looked at it, I was like, oh crap, I still have this.
Surprisingly, this is one of the few movies that I really like. I meant to own, but I don't.
Oh, really?
And I was like, okay.
That's like me and Phantasm. How many times did I buy that?
Oh my God. Yes. I still have Phantasm around here somewhere.
I have the box set with the big, the ball.
Yeah.
But it's plastic. But I have a real ball, everybody. It's metal, stainless steel with the forks and everything in it and screw. The drill bit.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyhow, all right. So we're at that point. We kind of finished off our coverage of the Toxic Avenger, the new movie. And we're at that point in the podcast. Where can listeners hear you?
Usually here, or sometimes I'm also on Panels to Pixels,
Mhm.
and if we ever do a group review of a movie like Superman, like we did that recently,
Yeah.
that's where I'll be.
Yeah. Anything that's on PirateCorp Entertainment, everybody, obviously.
That's it.
So basically, Frank, Rob, Adam, myself, it's the old Fantasy Picks movie edition crew, but we kind of come in and do our own thing here. I give freedom to Frank, Rob, or Adam if they wanted to come on to do their own thing. If they wanted to cover a film, do their own little podcast or whatever. But I brought Frank on because I knew this was in his wheelhouse. He loves the idea of it. So he just like the last one. And I realized it's like, wow,
I am the B movie guy.
Well, the last time
That
you
is
and I
it.
spoke, and the last thing we did on Adrenaline, guess
Megaforce.
what? It was Megaforce in August. And I realized I haven't put out anything since August. I was like, I need to put something out. And it's Halloween. I'm not only doing this with you, but I already did that with Jamie too with Friday the 13th. So I broke my cherry for the month of October already with Jamie doing Friday the 13th part 6. You could hear me here as always on Adrenaline Cinema Podcast, Panels to Pixels Podcast, the PirateCorp Entertainment Podcast, when we do music podcasts. What's on tonight when Becky and Mandy allow me to be on and have fun with them. I did all the coverage of Dexter with them, Dexter Resurrection. Now they're on to It. Welcome to Derry. So they're covering that now. That's It. Welcome to Derry's on HBO Max. So check that out.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend all the other podcasts that are on the PirateCorpsEntertainment.com website. That would be What's On Tonight, Adrenaline Cinema, as you know, here, Panels to Pixels podcast, and the PirateCorp Entertainment podcast, which will be putting out very, very soon for either the end of October or the very beginning of November. It's our interview with Adam Gonzalez, our friend who is a independent film director, and he did a short film called The Raven. So we have a whole interview with him, Rob, myself, and the cast. And you're going to get video, you're going to get audio. I just have to do a lot of editing. So that's what I've been working on. We did this like weeks ago, and I'm sure Rob and Adam are like, when's this coming out? So you'll get it. It's in time. You know, it's like November coming fire for me. So I got to get it. Otherwise, it's going to burn my ass. Anyhow, with that, happy Halloween. And for those
Happy Halloween.
For those of you that want to submit your feedback, all you have to do is go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Adrenaline Cinema Podcast. Yeah, you could just easily leave comments in the messenger thread or whatever I post. And some of the stuff has already been posted a while back, but if you leave them in the comments, I'll get notified and I'll bring them up on the next podcast. You could send us a regular email. All you have to do is send that to Adrenaline Cinema Podcast at gmail.com and just write out your thoughts and we'll read them. And then if you don't feel like the need to write out your thoughts for me to read them, you could easily record yourself and send it as an attachment. Anybody can do that nowadays. So there's going to be a rating or review for Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Please do so. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thumbs up. 5-star reviews are always welcomed. And we can be found on YouTube as well as YouTube Music for podcasts. So what you see here is there. All you have to do is search for Adrenaline Cinema Podcast. I was going to say Panels to Pixels Podcast, but that's the same thing. Anyhow,
It's all good.
It's all good. So with that, just a little final thing. Go to the PirateCorpsEntertainment.com website. Check out all the other podcasts, everything that's there. Follow them and give them a like and send your love. That's all I ask. Other than that, I just want to thank everyone for listening. I'm Mark.
And I'm Frank.
And this was Adrenaline Cinema Podcast. And we'll see you the next time when we change the reel. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.